Hello and welcome to Writing America, Pages and People. If you're here to learn about an American author and some of their works, then you're in the right place. My name is Rachel Rigolino and I'm an instructor in the English department at the State University of New York at New Paltz. So come on, we'll watch this video and leave some comments below.
It's actually pretty difficult to find out much biographical information about Maude Irwin Owens. She was born in 1900 in Philadelphia, where she did attend art school. Much of what we know of her comes through her numerous letters exchanged with W.E.B. Du Bois, public intellectual, scholar, co-founder of the NAACP, and editor of the Crisis magazine, the literary magazine of Black America that was really prominent during the 20s, 30s, 40s, and into the 50s and 60s. Between November 1925 and the summer of 26, Du Bois and Owens kept an extensive correspondence, and he provided her with critiques of both her prose and poetry. He did see promise in her poetry, but he wrote to her, quote, "On the whole, they are not good. They need more work and careful polishing. They need thought and pruning, and especially a larger vocabulary," end quote. But apparently she was not discouraged by any of this and actually took some of his critique to heart. 3 years later, Du Bois published her short story, Bathesda of Sinners Run, in the Crisis. Now, Bathesda of Sinners Run is a really unusual story. It looks at faith, hypocrisy, and acceptance within the light of the story of this pool of Bathesda that's found in the Gospel of John. So Owens has these allusions to that particular story. Now, let's take a look at the character. Bathesda is an expert needlework woman like her mother and her mother's mother before her. She's the first in her family to be born a free person and not the offspring of white slave owners. And you'll see that genealogy at the beginning of the story, and it has that kind of biblical undertones to it. Although Bathesda has inherited this ability for fine needlework, she only has an echo of her maternal ancestors' healing powers. Now, Bathesda's mother, Anne, says that she cannot be a healer because, quote, "the divine gift of healing can never descend upon an unbeliever," end quote. So on her mother's deathbed, Bathesda promises that she will seek religion and the power to heal the sick. Now, in the decades that follow, Bathesda lives a quiet life on the outskirts of the tiny village of Sinners Run, where she's an outcast because the women of the community suspect her independence. Unmarried and only nominally Christian, Bathesda doesn't care to fit in with the social and religious mores of the other women. And without giving away the ending of the story, I will say that Bathesda undergoes a transformation during which she acquires that same healing power as her mothers and grandmothers before her. And while this work is certainly profound on a couple of levels, there is a lightness to it and a certain humor that Maude Irwin Owens brings into it, and I think you'll very much enjoy it. Though you may need to look at the Gospel of John chapter 5 to read the story of the Pool of Bathesda to truly understand it. And as critic J.A. Craig Edwards says, you can read this story as, quote, "an elaboration on the Pool of Bathesda found in the Gospels, in which the silent, marginalized healing pool is personified as a black woman who speaks with a powerfully healing touch." Now, before I end this brief lecture, it's important to point out, I think, that Maude Irwin Owens was a visual artist. That's what she was trained to be. And we know that she had at least 2 of her illustrations published in the Crisis magazine. And also, She had a sculpture that was included in the 1933 exhibition of works by Negro artists. So we know that this work was called Fusion, but there's no description of it, there's no photograph of it, and sadly, I've been unable to find any of her sculptures or her drawings or illustrations. We do also know that there was a fresco that it was put into a Polish Catholic church, and I'm not sure if it was Philadelphia or Pittsburgh. Again, all of this is very sketchy. So it would be wonderful if people could do some more deep research into Maude Irwin Owens so that we knew more about her. Finally, and I want to come back to Bathesda of Sinners Run, it did win an award. It won the Charles Chestnut Award. That was given to stories published in the crisis. So apparently that story was very well received at the time, and she did win this award in honor of Charles Chestnut. So I hope you enjoy reading Bathesda of Sinners Run and that you find it as interesting as I do.